This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way. And that's what's going to happen.
My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. We have national headline news today. As you can see, former President Trump, future president, however you want to put it, has greatly advocated for Bitcoin, for the crypto industry. And this is one of the first times, I think, in Bitcoin's short lifespan that we've actually had admiration from the chief of staff. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice. It's another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it already, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I give away free Bitcoin every Friday, and now is your chance to get paid. Win some free Bitcoin. Shout out your city in the comments. We literally have a global community. I was getting love from Australia, Slovenia. I've seen Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, Canada, Boss Town, and it's really cool. So this is my chance to give back to you guys. Just shout your city out in the comments. It helps the YouTube algorithm get this message out to more people. And my mission is to help as many people make as much money as possible. As you see, we are on the precipice of the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity, and somebody gotta be the boss. Now let's go ahead and make this money. As I said earlier, as you saw in that first little segment, this is headline news. Like, there is no bigger story in the world right now. It's crazy how events happen, but it's like, it's sad that the first 30, 40, 50 seconds of this man's speech, he had to acknowledge, a devastating tragedy on the other side of the world. But I do not want to let that moment outshine this one. I believe we have a chance to amplify the positivity, to radiate cognitive dissonance, and to become ubiquitous, with good intention and good morale. And I think that's what crypto does more than anything. So it's sad that, the first 30, 40 seconds, his message was dampened by acknowledging, an event that took place on the other side of the world, which will inevitably contribute to the destruction that the petrodollar system facilitates. Like, it's literally one hand of the machine looking at the other. Like, Bitcoin just exists. It's the best technology ever invented. Blockchain is the most efficient data processing communication network ever bestowed upon humanity. The petrodollar is very, very good at, warmongering around the world for profit, thanks to the military industrial complex. And the reach of that concept, of that statement, runs through many, 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 many countries, many, many, many events, and I'm not here to, again, amplify the negativity brought forth of that event, but I think people need to recognize, like, you literally have a paradigm shift. You know what I'm saying? I'm not living in that world anymore, to where, we got tanks rolling around and melanated people getting destroyed all over the world, and some rich person and corporation profiting as a result, sitting on Wall Street with $20 trillion selling bullets to fund destruction all over the world. I'm looking at a world to where we finally have a new voice. Somebody that said he gonna put America first, and he want to make America the crypto capital of the world. That's a lot of money talking right there. That's big money in the building. What they say? Big bank take little bank. You know what I'm saying? And that man is connected to some of the most influential reservoirs of wealth on this planet, So it's pretty cool to see that Bitcoin has a new voice. In Bitcoin we trust. And he got that fist up like and the Black Panthers like back in the 80s and 70s. Like, it's crazy. He can't put that fist down, but today he put it up for Bitcoin. I think the people have spoken. He mentioned during his speech, and I can give you guys a link to it. You can literally just type in Donald Trump, Nashville, and people will pop up. But, he talked about being the first president to accept Bitcoin for donations. Now, what will be interesting is if he decides to spin this crypto, because as I mentioned earlier, he was kind of messaging to the world that he does value Bitcoin when he priced his picture at $60,000. So if you remember with the last Trump Bitcoin news video I did, Trump, picture with Trump, 60K. Let's see what pops up. Yeah, it's like, no, he was selling pictures. Like, basically you could get a picture with him at the conference for $60,000. And I was like, why did he say 60? Why not like two for 59? Like one for 80? Why 60? Because Bitcoin is $67,000. And so that's his way of saying, basically, you could take a picture with me, but you got to give me a Bitcoin for it, right? Anyhow, he's generated $4 million in cryptocurrency donations. I always think it's interesting when people, support these political figures, with blockchain-based assets. I think, but more power to them. Like, that just goes to speak, to the message that he's given. He's bridging a lot of worlds right now. One of the things that he did talk about, which I thought was very intriguing, he talked about if America continued to decline, to continue to go on the path that it was on, essentially they would have to file a Chapter 7. And I thought that was interesting because, first of all, if you don't know anything about Donald Trump, like, he's had a lot of failed businesses that he's managed and brought back to be profitable ventures. Donald Trump failed businesses, right? Like, this was this man's this was his roadmap to success. You know what I'm saying? Just keep making new businesses, and if they don't work out, just file Chapter 11, Chapter 13, Chapter 7, just, pick one of them 3 numbers and run it through the process, liquidate whatever assets you could take, put that into another venture, go out and try it again, right? He did that many, many times. This article says as many as 26 times. So he mentioned in his speech, it's more like a diatribe. He kind of just rambles, but it's like his mind is it's impressive. His mind is really sharp. Like, he don't need no cue cards. He don't need no teleprompter. He don't need one of those microphones in his ear to keep him on his little talking points. Like, this man will just freestyle for 40 minutes, and get through all his little talking points. So it's pretty impressive that he could do that. But he mentioned of taking the country through a Chapter 7 process. And I thought that was very interesting because that specifically talks about bankruptcy, right? And more even specific than that, it's liquidation bankruptcy. Basically, selling the house, the kitchen sink, and everything that come with it just to pay off the lenders and the creditors. It allows you to complete your filing quickly so you can get a fresh start faster. Right? So if America was to go through this process, it would be the most expedited path to resuming their spot as a global authority in the world. Right? Basically, you sell off everything that you own. I think, one would argue that we're actually seeing this right now with other countries coming into America, buying up the land, buying up the businesses. I was watching The Matrix the other day, and I was just listening. You got to listen to this stuff. And they said that they had just completed building the Osaka Tower in Philadelphia. And keep in mind, this was a movie made in like the 98, 99, but I was like, that's interesting. What is the Saka Tower? And I looked it up. I was like, that's the highest building in Japan. I said, Japanese company. Why is now the highest building in America? But it started to allude to these are other countries that are basically coming up, buying up land, putting their flag in the ground, and continuing to grow their empire through America. We are on the decline. Like, this is what the death of an empire looks like. It just takes 20 or 30 years to fill out. It doesn't happen all at once. You know, and this, America is actually a evolution of the Roman Empire. It's an extension. It's like a cousin, like a nephew. You know what I'm saying? We just Rome's little nephew, 400 years old, you know, but times is about to change, you know? It's about to change. Mike Maloney actually talks about this in his Hidden Secrets of Money. If you never watched this series, it's really incredible. It was one of the best teachers I had when I started to really learn what Bitcoin was and how these economic cycles happened. Right here, Hidden Secrets of Money. It's got 1 million views. It's like this man's great work. And he's a big gold and silver person. For the better part of like 2 or 3 years, he really was not pro crypto. But I've noticed, I think he's even put some Bitcoin stuff in here talking about crypto and, you know, getting on the blockchain. I think people like this, when, you know, they grew up a certain way, like gold was valuable to his granddaddy and his daddy. And so, you know, when Bitcoin come around and go up 10,000% in 10 years, it's like, well, my gold ain't gone up in 10 years. Y'all need to go buy some gold. So, but he does do the backstory talking about 2,000 year cycles between the East and the West, between China and the US. And guess what? That 2000 needle just ticked and we're about to go back to China. And if you think about it, getting back to the debt, the insolvency, and the Great Reset, that's what this man does best. It's like he advocates America first. Don't let China win. And then he probably did his research and said, well, who owns most of the Bitcoin in the world? Let's just type in, who is Antmain? Bitcoin mining company, right? Antmain is essentially one of the largest mining pools in the world. These guys basically own the blockchain, you know, for greater intents and purposes. They've been mining it for a very long time. They have the best miners in the world, and this is a Chinese company, right? From Beijing, China. Like, that's them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I was talking about. I was like, we got the big three again, fresh on the blockchain. Antmain, you know, is China. We got Vitalik and Ethereum over there in Russia. And you got Uncle Sam just confiscating all that Bitcoin, you know, holding it down for the States. But you still got the big three in the next evolution of society. So it's still there, right? But now it's almost like we have a presumed figure if/when America goes through this restructuring period. Well, who's a better leader that you could recommend, a better person to navigate us through this transition than somebody that's done it 26 different times, right? You got to start thinking about this like it's literally like a chess game that's playing in front of you, and most people just see one little piece and they see that piece moving and they're like, oh, that's it, that's where they're going. But it's like, no, it's like, you know, this whole game is changing right now. Everything has happened. We have the longest running bull market in the history of all markets. Like, we're past due for a correction, a recession / depression. It should have happened during Obama's year, his last couple years in office, but they stretched it out. They made the interest rates next to zero, gave companies all of this free money, let BlackRock get off the ground and get all this free money, and now 30% of everything is all bought up. The price of eggs then went to $12 a dozen, you know, and people still can't even get money for their next month's rent. Like, the savings rate is probably less than 3% for the average American. It's crazy, you know, if they're lucky to get that. So I think what we're looking, you know, is it's going to be called the Great Reset, and these words have been coined already, thanks to one of the 3-letter organizations that, you know, coincide with COINTEL to control and deceive populations. And also His Royal Highness, whoever that may be, the Prince of Wales, because we have princes and kings and queens in this world. And we must always thank them whenever we get a chance for allowing us to be their humble servants. Thank you. And so we got the IMF over here talking about the Great Reset. Now, keep in mind, they kind of centralize this around CV-19 time, but I think if you think retrospectively and look back over the past 15 years, like, something has to happen at this point, right? And this was kind of the icing on the cake. The IMF was created at the same time at the Bretton Woods Conference. If you know anything about this channel, anything I've been teaching y'all, that was the moment that Nixon nixed the dollar. Like, that was the moment that the frog got in boiling water and people really started to watch their money, their source of wealth, get dissolved over the next 30 years. And that's where this organization was created. And they're talking about a great reset. And so I tie all of that together to let you know that we are indeed at a crossroads, right? We could either, want to kill the messenger, or we could recognize it as a moment to advocate for the advancement of an industry. One of the things he talked about in his speech, he compared crypto. He said, yeah, you guys are like the steel industry was in the 60s. And I thought about that. I said, yeah, you kind of right. Like, I come from Cleveland, Ohio. That's a Rust Belt city. It was like in the 60s when steel came around, 40s through the 60s. That's why they built all them big buildings. Like, that was American industry. Nobody did it better until somebody did. You know what I'm saying? And it went overseas. And all those cities dried up and all those people lost that money. I was like, I don't think that's going to happen with Bitcoin. So automatically I saw it as kind of like a flag in the ground of when the industry stops and somebody does it better. But I'm like, this is a global transition. Like, governments print fake paper with people's face on it and call it money. Like now we actually have tangible units of value, like measurable, autonomous, decentralized economies, trustless ecosystems. Like, now I think it's very similar to what the steel industry was, meaning we're literally at the birth of something new. But at the same time, there is no end point. Like, this is the end game. The game is playing. The game is changing. Like, this is the permutation inside the matrix to change the landscape of the world that we reside in. It ain't like, oh, well, China did it better. They did it cheaper. So America, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Chicago, y'all about to be struggling for 20, 30 years. Better hope LeBron bring the economy back, because steel ain't gonna do it. Like, that's what we had, But now it's like crypto is literally the next beacon of hope for not only for America but for the world. I think blockchain has provided a process to build a sustainable future on. There are many opportunities for those with control to continue to try to seize such said control. But I think at the end of the day, it does give us more opportunities than it does flaws. And for the advocation and advancement of humanity, that's definitely a step in the right direction. I don't necessarily support all paid puppet politicians, reading a teleprompter with the voices in their ear, telling them what to say next. But I do respect somebody that stands on their own 2 feet, even though he's not the most educated or informed person on Bitcoin, point blank, period. He's smart enough to know, I don't want China to win, right? And China is mining all this Bitcoin. He said, we need to make America Bitcoin mining capital of the world. Y'all need energy. Let me go get y'all some energy. So it's like, now we talking about making policies that makes it friendly, makes it competitive to mine in the countries, in the states. For the longest time, that was the biggest thing. Like, if you wanted to be a miner, you needed to go to Finland, Greenland, one of these countries where it's cold half of the year, and you don't have to pay to, run air conditioning on all your machines. So it's interesting to see, I'll say that, how these different things are playing out. But I think we're definitely at, kind of like a crossroads to where we're watching the decline of one empire and the birth of another. And just like, you know, the Dark Knight and Bruce Wayne, Batman talk about, like, this isn't the hero they wanted. You know what I'm saying? But it just might be the one that they deserve. Right? So there you go, people. I think it's exciting. You know, he was really excited talking about doing America first and, you know, building out the crypto industry here in the States. So I think that's really, 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 you know, exciting to hear from, you know, such a seasoned politician, because put it this way, for the last 3.5 years, you haven't heard any pro-Bitcoin statements come from those people running that organization, right? So, you know, at least we got a new cheerleader. How about that? I am going to be giving away some new trades, some crypto trades. If you want to get some free trades sent straight to your phone, drop your SMS in, phone number on bossofbitcoin.com. I'm going to be building out these trading communities. At one time, I had 20, 30,000 people, you know, that were trading with me. And Facebook really destroyed their platform, you know, with the bots and the spam. Like, I can't even use it anymore. So I have to build this thing back up from the ground floor, brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? So every single video I do, I make sure I invite you to the different communities that I'm putting together. This is one of them. This is going to be pretty cool. I'm just going to be shooting trades out there, trying to help you guys stay on top of the market. What people don't realize is, like, you know, it's not very difficult to make money, especially when you don't got no money. Like, you know, if you got $100, like, you could jump in and out of a trade in like a fraction of a second. Now that's not gonna do anything. Even like 1,000, 10,000. Now once you get, you know, 20,000 liquid on one trade, like jumping in, jumping out, that might take you, you know, a few minutes to push through. But, you know, if you got less than $10,000, like, I got one of the best methods for you. It's called the boss method. If you don't know who I am, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Kelly. I'm the boss of Bitcoin. They call me the boss for a reason. I put about 10,000 hours in at the University of Notre Dame. I got 3 letters behind my name from that great university. Thank you very much. I got 6 semesters of calculus, a bachelor's in civil engineering, you know, from the University of Wisconsin. I still bleed red and white, you know, on Saturdays, but Indeed changed my life. So I got a Golden Dome on one side. I got Bucky Badger on the other side. And between the two of them, I got sight into the charts. Like, I could just look at this thing and pin the energy down like a fraction. And then they told me something about sacred geometry. And, you know, then I learned something about fluid mechanics. And it's like, it's all water anyway. Like, currency is the current of the sea. Is water is energy. It can't be created or destroyed. It merely transforms from one form into another. Like, these are the laws of our universe that I'm reapplying to traditional statistical forecasting as it applies to financial markets, right? It's a new wave, you know, it's a new ocean being created. And, you know, I'm just trying to help you stay afloat above the tide, right? We don't never have to make the market. We just jump on one wave, and when that wave dying out, we jump on another one, jump on another one, jump on another one, jump on another one. Do that 5 or 6 times. Hey, start with 500, flip it 5 times. That's like 10 G's right there. Do that math for you. Right? And then you got Bitcoin on top of it, making you 30% a year. Right? So it's like we swing trade the alts for BTC because BTC is already getting us more USD. It's amazing. This is the best chance you got. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm here. So with that being said, everybody, make sure you shout your comments out. I'm gonna pull everybody up on the next video. I know this one got a little long. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got a new cheerleader. Right? That's why the frame painted orange to match his hair, right? Somebody need to ask Donald Trump how much money he want to spray paint Bitcoin on his head. Like, just put it in the top of the hair, you know what I'm saying, with the little B on the back. You know, somebody need to put up some money. Get Roger Ver to put up like 10 million on that. Let's see if we can get that done. With that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player. One time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Arms. Huh.